Welcome to the 2400 Block Podcast with your host, Jonnyroobs. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to another unofficial episode. It is Tuesday, April the 8th, 2025. Time is 10:03 here in the Chicagoland area. Hoping you guys are enjoying your morning. And as for me here, I'm just getting started. Time for me to do the usual. Give you a little bit of some updates and add a little couple of things here and there. So, here we go. Are you ready? I'm ready. Before I go on speaking here, I remember when I was in community college and we had public speaking, talking in front of people. Boy, that was nervous. Yeah, such a nervous feeling. I remember when me, this guy Alvin, and Moises, two guys I've gotten to know during public speaking. It was such an awesome experience. It's English, but at the same time it's public speaking because you're holding note cards and then speaking in outlines, and everything just comes right out of your head. You're not very dependent on using the stuff to read on. Like right now, I'll be reading off of this. I'll be reading off of this clipboard here, which has a lot of writing. And as you can tell, there's just a lot here that I like to talk about. But I'll try to break it down in a certain way, in a way that I find very easy. Yet that was some really awesome music you heard in the background, courtesy of my friend Abby and his shipmates over there in the U.S. Navy. Hello to you guys. Thank you very much for the track. That was hot. And now we are going to proceed with the show. And as you can see behind me, it's actually the first thing I want to talk to you about. Now, many of you are familiarized with the repeating banner that has been very dominant during the last couple of podcast episodes. And we were in a different location. This location is different from the one that you've been accustomed to seeing a few months ago, way back in, shall we say, around October, when I was interviewing Jamie Bennington. That was the last time I was able to use the studio in its fullness. And then fast forward a couple of weeks later, after coming back from a unexpected trip, a friend of ours passed away, and we had to visit her family over there in North Carolina. And then I stopped over to my hometown of Virginia Beach and decided to take care of some personal matters there. I was also able to helm a podcast episode with my younger brother, Jeffrey. And we did a podcast episode together, and it took like maybe 3 tries. I think it was 3 tries to convince him to appear on a podcast episode. And I was nervous. I wasn't sure if he would ever accept the idea of coming into a podcast, but he had a kind and gentle heart, and he decided to be on an episode with me. Now, that's very rare because nobody would see me and my brothers ever appear together on a podcast, let alone, pictures, unless if it's the past, in which I lived in Virginia up until 2005. And then I would stop by the hometown every once in a while, especially during Christmas. And that's when you see most of us in the family together. Well, I hope to see him again real soon. Okay, I'm going to fast forward now. Like I said, you're familiarized with the old background. Well, it turns out I'm in a new area. Moved last November. Of course, that was after the unexpected trip. And we were able to move things here and there. It took a lot of effort, some of it extreme. I had to carry a lot of things and stuff them into the vehicle and play Tetris with it. Yeah, putting things together in certain spaces, whatever I can. And that was fun. And I remember it took like maybe, I don't know if I could fast forward now, 4 or 5 trips for me to make it here and get things situated. Well, we were very blessed to have made it here by Thanksgiving. So, since I missed you guys, I'll have to say it. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Valentine's Day, Happy St. Patrick's Day, and coming up, it's Easter. Easter Sunday is coming up. November, here we are. April, time flies. I'm telling you right now, time flies. Here we are heading to the midpoint of 2025. Can you believe that, guys? All right. Now let me read off of this clipboard here. All right. So, as you can see, there's a lot of new things. This mic arm right here, that's new. It's a great addition to the podcast look here. It's very strong. It's very sturdy. It's able to move and it's very long too compared to the old mic arm that I used to have. This one is definitely a great one. So, yeah, it's moving. Look at it. I'm moving. Well, for those that are hearing me, just imagine. Okay. All right. So, we got that in mind. Behind me as well is it's like a drawer that contains a lot of things, especially here in the podcast when it comes to accessories and equipment. They're all right behind me. And it looks really cool just having to put the stuff all in there. I remember most of them were like in a tote or in boxes when we first moved in here. Now they're tucked away in the little drawers, and of course, it adds as a great background, as you can see. So it looks wonderful, and of course, right there, guys, this is the one that seals the deal. Is this sign right here? This sign definitely seals the deal to show that we finally accomplished something. Yeah, it is rather pricey, but it's good to get it up here. So, yeah, very grateful to have a signage that actually turns on. I can't turn it on right now because of the fact that you won't be able to see too much light emanating from it since it's daytime. So I just want to confirm that with you. Okay, so besides the new setup, as you see, we're also running on solar energy. Yeah, you heard that, guys? Solar energy. We're talking about stuff, that's being run by solar energy. Like this podcast right now is dependent on solar energy. This podcast machine is dependent on solar energy. This Mac that I'm being recorded on right now is dependent on solar energy. This light that is shining on me is emanating using solar energy. So whatever comes to mind right now is all thanks to solar energy. There are solar panels right on top of the roof doing their thing. So very grateful. It's good to be part of doing great service for Mother Earth. So, yeah. But I do have to note, too, that services has also downgraded. So at the same time, we're, doing good in terms of the budget. We had to downsize a little bit. So we're making most of the free perks right now, which you guys are seeing. This is like, I think, 40 free minutes on Zoom meeting, which I'm utilizing right now, as well as Riverside FM. We're using the free perks of that as well. So putting them together, hopefully it'll be a great experience this season. And maybe I could use their services again. But for now, we decide to downgrade. Okay. And also in the works of adding more to the team, um, we'll try to add some familiar faces as well as new additions. I have some names that come to mind, and I'm just going to just throw it off with just the first name. I'm sure many of you remember Christine from seasons 1 and 2, as well as 3. She has been a great part of our podcast, as well as Dan the Man. To Dan, I just want to say happy belated birthday. Hope you had a great time over there in San Antonio. Also knowing that there was an NCAA finals going on over there, and of course, congratulations to the University of Florida, the Gators, on winning the big one. But I also want to tip my hats to the University of Houston for getting there. And I know they came up short, but I know for a fact, and I know they will probably come back stronger than ever. Maybe they'll be able to win it next year. Who knows? Maybe I'm predicting it already. Okay. Anyways, let me move on here. When it comes to familiar faces, I'm also thinking about adding Lori. She would be a good addition as well. And Ed out there in the Los Angeles area. It'll be good to have him along as well. And I am hoping to get him on the next unofficial podcast episode. Probably not unofficial. It could wind up to be official. So yeah, look forward to that too. Um, I also want to give you an update. It's not a good one, folks. Remember Ken, my podcasting partner? You've seen him through his ups and downs. And I know he has been diagnosed with ADHD and autism. Well, it turns out that he has multiple sclerosis. We talked about it on our video audio test just a few days ago. And we try to be worry free about it. We try not to think so deeply on it. And right now, I just like to express gratitude on having him around. He's been a dear friend of mine for 28 years now. He has certainly been a blessing as we've been having these podcast episodes together, especially last season, as well as this current one. We're about to kick off the second half of season number 5 here. We've only done 10 episodes. So episodes 11 on, we'll try to complete up until the end of June. The next season is to begin around maybe July or August. And hopefully we'll be able to do more episodes centering on topics that mean a lot to us. Now, it won't be just coming from me, not just coming from Ken, but from the names that I mentioned on what they want to talk about and share with all of us. That would be great to hear different perspectives. I know having guests was the major highlight from last season. Well, it turns out that I like to make usage of my team a lot more and get to know their perspectives. That would be really cool. So, yeah. Okay, let me continue on here on this notepad. All right, so my take on current events Okay, here we go, guys. Current events. So heads up, pay attention. I know you guys going to put me on the spotlight here, especially with what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it in the most fair and honest way. Besides, I have friends that are conservatives and liberals. So I'm not too much of a, political kind of guy, doing this on a podcast, but I'll just say it in my own words in the best way I know how. And I don't want to hit anybody on the wrong spot here, but I'm just going to say it right then and there. Even if I have to stutter, even if I have to sound as nervous as I can, I just want to get the word out. So here we go. This is what I think, and I'm going to read it. Well, it's all fragment and sentences here, so I'm going to put it as it's read here, and then look at you guys at the same time. So you can hear the paper talking to me. Okay, guys, here we go. Now, the political climate in our country has us on edge. No matter what side you're on, whether you're a conservative or a liberal. So, most likely, what I'm going to be talking right now could end up as a future episode. I could be discussing this with a panel, the names that I mentioned, or I can bring that up to a future guest who's very familiarized with that. So, yeah, it's going to be something else. Remember, guys, I'm not too much of a, politically minded person. That's not my thing. I like to talk about something else. I want to steer ourselves away from all that because it's such a sensitive issue. Okay. Here's my advice. Okay. So I'm just going to read it as it is. In order for us to go through all this mess that we're facing right now, I just want everyone to seek transparency in knowing the truth instead of relying on information that can wound up to be misinformation. Seek the truth, guys. The internet is out there. We all can be made fools of on whoever tells you what to do. But I want you guys to use your own mind. And I also want you guys to remain civil. Yes, civil. Now, that's something that's not being used right now. There's a lot of things going on. There were protests over the weekend. There has been a lot of said things, some of which are very detrimental to the other parts of society. Some people are having a bad reputation because of that. But I want everyone to remain civil, even during these periods of congregating and assembly, and to, get a grip, take a step back, use your common sense while you're spreading your message. Now, everyone has gone the deep end when it comes to voicing their message. Sometimes they're just screaming, they're crying, they're shouting, even forcing themselves upon somebody. I just find that unacceptable. I do believe in the right to assemble, the right to congregate as a group, the right to protest. That's part of what the First Amendment allows. But sometimes when it goes the other way, when things start going aloof, when it all turns out to be outrageous, man, sometimes you just wonder, when is there a means to an end, right? Right. Okay, so I also think that as much as we can dislike the other side, we have to show our willingness to listen if they're open to it, if they're open to listen to you. Now, I know it's near to impossible right now with how everyone is feeling psychologically, but I do think the ability to dialogue, to understand one person's side of the story can be very helpful. Now, if it was a town hall meeting, I really don't know how that's going to end because right now everyone's just, shall we say, I'm speechless of some of the things that are going on. I've been seeing it all plastered all over social media. It's a big mess. And I don't know if everyone would agree to a town hall meeting with both sides. I really don't know what the end result of that would be. It will all hinge upon the individuals out there. So that's kind of hard right now, but maybe somewhere along the way, maybe there will be some sort of logical reasoning. Maybe maybe there will be something in common that bridges everyone together. I don't know. Okay, so also I want to say is you know dialoguing with each other is crucial. It is. It is very crucial to stress our point. We don't even know if people have the patience to listen to somebody that is different from one another, or even have the time to research on what the other side is doing to get the bigger picture. Now we don't have to talk to them directly, but it's always good to do a lot of adequate research. So I think that would be very helpful to gain ourselves an open perspective. Maybe it can change your mind. I don't know. So we'll see. And I know politicians would insist on the usage of violence through their rhetoric as a means to justify their cause. Guys, don't wound up as a puppet. If you believe in something, believe in it. Do it right. If you believe in it, do it with passion, but don't inflict any harm or anything upon somebody that could be fatal. That's just something I don't find acceptable at all. Like I said, I do have friends on the left. I do have friends on the right on Facebook. That's just how much I love you guys. That's how much I love America, is keeping all the friends united in the best way possible. All right, let me move on here. What else can I say? Congratulations again to the NCAA men's basketball Final Four champions, the University of Florida Gators. Wonderful. I'm glad you guys were able to win your third championship now. And remember, to the city of Houston, uh, y'all had a great, university over there. And these guys, they did everything they could. I know they only fell short by 2 points and may it fuel their motivation for next season, as I've indicated earlier. Well, here we go, guys. New episodes are coming soon to the 2400 Block podcast. I really thank you for watching me. I appreciate your time as well as your presence. Really means a lot to this podcast. Now, during the break of this podcast, which was from November up until now, we have gained 11 followers in the process. Sorry, guys, if it has taken us too long, but we're very grateful for the 11 additions to our subscriber ship here on YouTube. So we're very grateful for that. I also would like to play something I'd love to share to you coming from Gregory Manns. And I saw his video, which was on Twitter. It was actually forwarded from somebody, but I was able to catch some of his videos on TikTok as well as on Facebook. And this guy has a great message. And I want you guys to hear a clip. You guys won't be able to see the clip right now, but I want you to hear it. So here is Gregory Manns. He goes under GLM 1026 on TikTok. And He does a phenomenal job in explaining things, especially about life in general. And I would love to have him on as a guest for a future episode. I actually messaged him hoping he would be invited to the show. So here's an excellent way of introducing him. I'm going to be playing the soundbite to one of his TikTok videos. Maybe I'll play two of them and I'll let you hear it out. Okay. All right, here we go, guys.
Your appearance, as you look in the mirror and you begin to
Okay.
recognize that you realize that getting older will humble you. Forgive me right now because I'm driving.
Okay, guys. I was playing it in the middle and it never went all the way to the very beginning. So my apologies, guys, for having heard it halfway there. I'm gonna play it back in its entirety. So here we go. Gregory Mans, GLM 1026 on TikTok.
Getting older will humble you. Forgive me right now because I'm driving. It will humble you to the point that you realize that you're not immortal, that you begin to realize your mortality, and you begin to realize that once you get older, that you don't have forever to get your life together. You realize that the things around you, the things that you thought were important, that the things that you used to run after, the things you used to desire, you don't desire anymore. As you begin to get older, you begin to get wiser, and you begin to understand that life is not forever, and you begin to find joy in things that you used to didn't recognize when you were younger. You begin to enjoy the trees and the breeze and your kids and things that you didn't think about before, because now you realize that you don't have forever. you know being humbled by your age, being humbled by your appearance, as you look in the mirror and you begin to recognize and you begin to see that the person that you used to be, you're not that same person anymore. You begin to recognize that the years have gone by, and you begin to focus now on what's left of your life. You recognize that things have changed and that you've changed, and the things that you love that you don't love anymore, and the things that you thought were important are no longer important. You recognize that your mortality is in front of you and you don't have forever. Getting older will humble you and will make you think. Getting
Boy, that was good. That was good. I wish we could hear more messages like that. I think that is very, very helpful. I think what he's
older will
saying is
humble you. Forgive me right now because I'm
okay.
driving.
All right, sorry about that. I was playing his video, and I just want you guys to hear a piece of what Gregory Mann has to say, because it's like really good stuff. Check out all his videos, and they definitely can help someone out there that's in need. Now, here's a favorite one that I was playing as well, on top of the one that I was letting you guys listen to. Here's a listen.
Don't ever give up. Let me tell you a story about not ever giving up. It's almost like the little engine that could. And it's my own story of my life on drugs, my life on crack. And I could not get off crack for no matter how hard I tried. For 20 plus years, I was running around sleeping in abandoned buildings. I've been in probably about 15 treatment centers, probably 7 mental institutions. I mean, I can't tell you how long and how hard I tried to get off these drugs, and I couldn't get off, but I had hope in my heart that one day that the Most High God would deliver me, off of these drugs. But I never ever gave up, right? I never thought that I wouldn't get off drugs. See, you can't ever think that you can't get better. You can't ever believe that you won't change or won't turn around. I always believe, me personally, as the believer in the Most High God, I believe that one day he was going to move. Really, no matter how bad it got, me sleeping in abandoned buildings, me being strapped to beds and mental institutions, how bad it got, me going to prison for crack, I knew one day that he was going to deliver me. I'm telling you, you cannot ever give up, no matter how bad it looks. I don't care if you're in a marriage. I don't care if you're in whatever situation you might be in, because there are many situations that people are in these days, and it seems hard and it seems like that there's no way out. But I'm telling you, don't ever give up on believing that things going to change for you, whether it's money. But forget money, because what good is money if you don't have peace, right? But don't ever give up. That's the message for today. For me, from a person who thought that he, from a person who was in a situation that seemed like from the outside, people looking at me thinking that I would never change. I believed that I would change. Even when I was crawling around on the floor looking for rocks, even when I was standing begging for money on corners, even when I was stinky, dirty, nasty, I believed that I can change. And if I can change from what I was going through, you can change from whatever you're going through, right? And let me tell you my secret. Let me tell you my story. I was going through so bad on crack, right? But I was believing God that he was going to deliver me, right? One day I'm at my mother's house sleeping on her floor, right? And I felt the spirit tell me to get down and begin praying. And I prayed and got back up. And I knew that something was different. And that was 20 plus years ago, and I haven't gone back since. But I'm telling you, I don't care if you believe in God or if you don't believe in God. Believe that you can change. I'm a believer in God. You might not believe in that, but believe in your own strength and whatever you got to believe in. Because one day I was on crack and homeless, right? And nobody thought I could ever change. 20 plus years later, I'm a completely different man. Who knows what God is going to do in your life? Keep praying, keep believing.
Whoa, that was good. Again, guys, that was Gregory Manns. Look him up. Follow him on Facebook, on Instagram, especially on TikTok. He's on GLM 1026. So, guys, check that out. Hopefully, we can have him on the podcast this later part of the season. I'm already establishing communication with him, so that's pretty good so far. And just hopefully we'll have him on, and perhaps he can elaborate more on his life story, on finding inspiration, on having that breakthrough in his life. I like to hear more. So definitely I'm going to be reaching out to Gregory in the times ahead. I've already shared his videos with Ken. I hope Ken is inspired by what he said. And yeah, let's make it happen. Hopefully, other guests would follow. I'm thinking about other names that come to mind, like Vivian Relina Williams. Oh gosh, she's got some really good videos giving good advice. She's one. I like to have a conversation with Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah, I met you way back like 5 years ago. So it's like 5 years over now. And I met you at Wahlburgers. Perhaps maybe you can be joining me for an interview for like maybe 10 or 15 minutes of your time. Bring your wife, Jenny. Okay, so who else I have in mind? There's a lot that I have in mind right now. I'm thinking about my friend Harold. Uh, him talking about his experience on what his life is like, and also talking about his new book. Definitely like to uh, have Harold on. I also have some other people that I want to get on this podcast as well. I have like other names in mind right now, but it's hard to get it off my chest because I don't want to let it all out right now. I want to, make it a little bit of a surprise for you guys. Um, I do have some of my team members that I'm going to be introducing you to in the times ahead. Again, let me name them. I have Christine, possibly Dan. Let's hope Dan will say yes again. Ed and Lori. So those are the names I have in mind right now for being the 2400 block panel. And you guys will get to see them have a conversation with me uh, later in this season. So the second half of the season is about to begin. It's good to be back on the mic. I'm having a little bit of some mic rust right now. As you can tell, while I was playing some of these videos, I kind of messed up. That's what it's all about, especially when you're doing it live. You may not hit everything correctly, but you know what? They all know what I'm going to do anyway, like as in trying to bring the information to you guys, whether it's me talking or the sound bites that I'm playing. So sometimes it can get out of hand. It happens during a live show. It can't always be perfect, right? Anyhow, well, this is it for now, guys. I thank you for watching this unofficial podcast episode here And I will talk to you again soon. So stay tuned. More good things to come on the 2400 Block Podcast, season number 5, part 2. Have a good one now. Bye-bye.
Good morning, John. It's glad to hear from you. Hope you guys are doing well. We are here. What keeps me motivated? That's a good question. It's been rough these last couple of years trying to find myself being motivated since I used to be such an active person. So being home 24/7 is a difficult thing for me. As Mo is agreeing with me, it's not easy. I have to find things that keep my mind active. I'd like to read a lot now. I'd like to be taken away with stories, let my mind wander and imagine. Not too much a TV buff, but I get by. I find Smo wants to talk today. I find life is I find meaning in the little things, to be happy. The weather out here is beautiful, so I'm able to enjoy the nature more by going outside and just enjoying and looking. I'm enjoying my dogs more, as Mo wants to always tell you. I just try to be happy. We started going back to church more, which I found a lot of meaning. It's helping me be happy. I've joined a disciples class of making me a disciple so I can spread God. Oh crap, I don't know. I didn't see where it left off. But I enjoy my family, my friends, and in learning what they were doing with their lives makes my life a lot easier and a lot happier. Like I said, lifting them up, supporting them, encouraging them helps me encourage myself. And like I said, Bill is a big part of that. He lifts me up, supports me, and I support him. And I don't think I could do it without him. But it's been a wonderful journey, and I can't wait to do more journeys with him as he's able to retire.
Thanks for checking out this episode of 2400 Block Podcast. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.